Yeah, man, we're rolling. Elliot, tell me about Bozeman Classic Pickleball Club.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Bozeman Classic Pickleball Club started as the home for the many over 900 now unique pickleball players that have visited our facility in Bozeman since we opened last year. But what it's turned into is a social community. It's a place where people find connection, friends. I've seen folks. One of our players told me he lost 50 pounds playing at our
Wow.
facility since we opened last year. I think it probably not is all from pickleball, but it's kind of kickstarts a healthy day and a healthy life cycle. And you want to play better, so you end up eating better and sleeping better and maybe drinking less. But what we are is a place for people to play pickleball and soon padel and spend time with their friends and family inside in Bozeman, and soon outside as well.
That makes me think of a question I wanted to ask anyway. What's the average time someone will spend there? Because if he lost 50 pounds, I'd imagine he's getting a workout in.
Yeah. I look at the data. He actually plays almost every day, but it started. He was playing about once a week, and then kind of the love of the game. He started playing more frequently, also with the social connections that he made with his wife, and then a couple of couples that they regularly play with. But our average player probably plays an hour and a half every 2 days or so, and then our most engaged players, so players that actually anybody that I'd say has played more than two times. Um, they play on average about 3 times a month, and they play generally about an hour and a half to 3 times 3 hours per day.
Okay. Do you have any statistics on the average calories burnt in an hour in a pickleball match?
It's funny you asked that because I spend a ton of time with my Garmin.
Okay.
I'm always tracking
Yeah,
my
yeah.
runs. I'm doing the Chicago Marathon in a couple weeks. So I've been looking at the stats, and my wife does as well. And we love playing pickleball together. It's a fun date night activity that we do. We'll get a babysitter and we'll play. And we're both burning a minimum of 200 calories every time we play. And I actually play 5:30 a.m. on Wednesday mornings with a dad league. Shout out to the dad league. Any dads in Bozeman that want to do something healthy and build some community with other rad dads before their family gets up or before going to work. You're welcome to come on Wednesday mornings at 5:30 to Bozeman Classic Pickleball Club. But I regularly burn like 500 calories when we play for 90 minutes.
That's so cool.
It's a lot of calories.
Hi, folks. Quick note from me. If you don't already know, the goal of Mountain Mule Media is to build real connection between Montana's businesses and the people they serve. If this episode or any other has given you something worth thinking about, smiling at, or passing along, I've got a small ask. Share it with a friend, text it to someone, post it in your story. That one simple action helps these businesses get seen, grow, and thrive, and it helps this show keep going. Thank you for supporting these Montana businesses. Now back to the show. Was this the original vision that this type of community would be built and this is what it was?
It's funny you say that. I mean, I was kind of like a hammer to a nail sort of problem initially. Taking a step back, I've looked for a business to acquire in Bozeman for 5 years.
Yep.
Since I moved here in 2020, I had the opportunity to purchase with the investment backing of a big investor, a small business in Boston, and turned down that opportunity to move to Bozeman with my wife. And the plan was I was going to work, and then she would start her interior design firm, Mountain Home Collective, which is amazing. She's got 8 full-time employees. She's put several of them through maternity leaves. So we've got a number of kids now on the team,
Very cool.
including ours. We had twins. My wife's was probably the shortest maternity leave of any of them. But I've looked basically since that day that we moved to Bozeman in the summer of 2020 for a business to acquire, and couldn't find anything that I really loved the price of, which we've talked
Yeah,
about
yeah.
in our past episode. And so when I was originally getting interested in pickleball, I built the business with the plan that if we could make it work in this rented warehouse from the beginning, I would build a new facility that I would own the land of and the real estate of, and expand what we're doing, make some key hires, and just put more capital to work, use some leverage versus the first one I did all with my own savings. But what I did not expect was that it was going to be such a community centered kind of activity. So I didn't realize or appreciate that a number of people that live here, full time or part time, have very busy lives, just like we do. And they love to play pickleball, but yet they don't even really have that many people to play with. And so that's where it starts is you find another person to spend time with. You end up chit chatting quite a bit when you're at the net or in between games or points. And you know, you don't get along with everybody, but through it doesn't take long for you to find through a couple of games connections and people that you really mesh with, and you're kind of having that IRL connection. And I'm to answer your question, didn't expect at all that that was what the business was going to be, but I think I'm way over indexing on that, especially in our next facility and moving forward. That um, it's actually really all about the community.
Yeah, that's we spoke about it a little bit too because I got pretty heavily into martial arts, and I thought about it a little bit after the barrier to entry to martial arts is probably a little bit higher than pickleball,
Yeah.
but
Well, the
it's
stakes are higher too, because
yeah,
if you don't do so well, you
yeah,
literally get your butt beat,
for
right?
sure. And but it's the exact same thing. I never expected it, and then I realized I now have a family, a family here, and I'm from the other side of the country, and I'd imagine people with pickleball are experiencing that exact same thing.
So cool. So cool. I also see, you know, I don't know how often this happens in jujitsu or martial arts, but um, I see a lot of players that are, you know, older adults. So maybe they're in their 50s or 60s and they have kids now that are teenagers or they're aging out of the house. They might be early 20s that live in Bozeman. And they come and they play for 90 minutes as a family. They oftentimes will invite the boyfriend and the girlfriend of the kids or a family friend that's visiting or neighbors, and 90 minutes is enough time where you really can kind of let loose and you let your guard down and you end up spending really quality time together. So you don't have to end up burning 500 calories when you play. You can do it at a much more relaxed pace, but there's no way you're going to get through 90 minutes without opening up about some vulnerabilities in your life, things are going on. And so what I see is the parents that play with their kids, they're getting this structured quality time together in a way that you don't really get when you're at the ski hill. You know, you might have it for a couple of minutes on the lift, or you don't get it when you're on a trail because people want to kind of play at their own pace or run at their own pace. But um, that's one of my favorite things is to see the families that come in and spend time with the kids.
Yeah, that's very cool. I've experienced that too because I've and in the past I did a lot of running. There's different things that are kind of a great team building, but it's still it's a lot of the times it's you by yourself and you don't get that chance for that connection.
Yeah,
And it depends on how social of a person you are. It's in martial arts and it sounds like in pickleball you're almost kind of forced to, especially if you're playing with a team or, it's just you get that quality time and you build that connection.
every time it's, you know, it's a lot of fun, even if it's people that you don't feel like you're going to get along with or want to spend time with off the court. It's just really valuable to kind of like do a sport. You get your heart rate up, your guard comes down, and you start just kind of like laughing and having fun, and you're getting a little bit of a sweat in, and it's just it's frankly quality time. And I feel lucky to be in a business where I get to help people have that experience after a lifetime of working in, you know, corporate America and tech sales and stuff. It's nice to be selling a product that people actually want to buy.
Yeah, that's so cool. What's the what's the demographic of as far as like skill level and age of people that come there? Is it pretty wide?
So we try to be very inclusive of all experience levels is the first thing, and I think that helps make it more accessible to people. We have a beginner clinic each Tuesday from 1 to 2:30 p.m. That's for players that have never played before. Also Wednesday morning from 7 to 8:30 in the morning before work for folks that, you know, can't get time out of their busy schedule to come in the middle of the day. And then on the weekends as well, beginner open plays where you can come after you've maybe taken a lesson or played with some other players for the first time. You can mix with other players. So we create a lot of these like really welcoming, safe, inclusive atmospheres for players who have never played before, as well as we've got a lot of programming for more advanced players too. Regular Monday night, Wednesday night, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, Friday evening. Um, we've got these open plays for more intermediate and advanced players. So everybody's basically welcome there. But to answer your question, our average player is probably tends to be more of a beginner, more of like a social player, and then we have a lot of players that are, you know, super competitive, super advanced, and they love to play with their core group of like really competitive players. But I'd say on average, it's generally like more of a beginner, intermediate, recreational type player. Our average player is in their 40s, and it tends to skew slightly female.
Okay. And are these high level guys? Are they competing and playing in tournaments?
Some of them have, and some of them regularly do. Like one of my favorite players is a Bozeman firefighter named Jason, and the dude just slays. He travels all around the country and
Very cool.
plays. So from the beginning, I've tried to build a facility where the court surface is can cater to that most competitive player that, plays at world-class tournament level play. They need adequate lighting, adequate roof height for lobs. So the bare minimum of the facility, for, even in our current lease warehouse and even more in our new one, which is coming online next year, and we'll have almost double the roof height for these really competitive players. But the goal has been to build a facility where the most competitive players can play and feel safe and have the amenities and the court surface that they need. And then also be able to cater and create an inclusive environment where new players can come, they can learn. We have grandparents that come in with grandkids that are sub 10 years old. We regularly do birthday parties, corporate events for, kids, company parties where most of the players have never played before. We offer lessons too, where the instructor will come in and they'll, if you want as an add-on, they'll teach your group how to play. But the other side of this is making it safe and fun with the music and the vibes and the culture, where people that are maybe out of shape or have never really played before can come in and have a great time as well.
For sure. When you do the parties or corporate events, is the whole facility rented out partial? How does that work if somebody wanted to have an event there at a party?
Yeah. Yeah. So for corporate events, typically we'll see the company rent out the whole facility for 3 hours.
Yep.
Sometimes they'll rent it for longer, but 4.5 hours is a lot of pickleball. So
Yeah.
we're on a 90-minute cadence from 5:30 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. every day.
Okay.
So whenever you play, you're going to get your court, at least the one court, for 90 minutes. So these corporate parties, they'll typically rent the whole space because they can control the music. We allow them to bring in food, use our refrigerator to, store drinks or birthday cake or whatever, and then come in early and set up if they need to. But we also see a lot of really cool local small businesses come in and just rent a court. For example, the Meridian and women team have a regular court reservation where they just come like one Tuesday or Monday every month, and they just have a regular like group team building court. And so that's the same price as our drop-in guest reservation. It's $66 to reserve the court for 90 minutes. And they just come as a team and they just kind of chill out and unwind together. And it's funny to see this progression that happens from you've never played before to you start playing, you're playing once a month or once every couple of weeks. You actually become kind of a competitive player.
Yeah.
And especially if you're an athlete, like so many of us are in Bozeman. And then you end up mixing in with these other open play events and building more community. And then you invite your friends, and it's just a beautiful mix. But yeah, to rent our courts for a private party, typically I recommend that people rent it all 4 courts and you can have the space to yourself. We've done, I see not just Meridian, but the local photonics companies have these regular court reservations. And we've done corporate team building events for so many different parties. We just hosted one for Sidewall Pizza last week
Nice.
with their team. All came in, had a great time. The vibes were high. I'm not even sure how high the quality of pickleball was, but they had a great time.
I can't remember if you'd said this already. Is there work leagues?
We do have a work league. We're putting together a new one now. The last one we didn't get as many signups as I was hoping for, I think, just because of the weather and the schedule. But this leaning in more on the small business stuff is a huge priority for me, because now as a business owner in Bozeman, I'm really appreciating how, you're spending a lot of time with your team at work, but you're not necessarily getting that time to unwind. And if you do, oftentimes like the default is to go to a bar.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's not the safest or like the healthiest thing. And it's also, it gets kind of tired going to a bar all the time. And the cool thing about pickleball, kind of like a golf course, is every single time you play it, it's different. So it's unique and it's exciting. And I think when you get people together to work out, you just kind of let your guard down again. It's kind of like a fun thing to do. So yeah, I'm encouraging teams to get their companies to pay for it. And you'll be mixed in with your team of 2 or 4 players with other small businesses. And we'll really be able to see who's got the best coffee in Bozeman, who really makes the best pizza in Bozeman. We can duke it out in a safe, friendly format on the court. It's $450 for the 6-week league per team. And if you have less than 2 people, or like Mystery Ranch, for example, has 2 teams, you can play against other. We can mix you in with other teams if you need more people.
That's such a cool idea.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm really proud of that.
Is there anything? Okay, let me back up. If somebody who does want to, just as an individual, they want to come do this, they've never played pickleball before. How should they approach it, and how do they, like a beginner lesson? Is that where they start?
Yeah, the first thing is remind yourself that it's kind of like whose line is it anyway, where the score doesn't count and the points don't matter. So when you come to Bozeman Classic Pickleball Club, be prepared to laugh, be prepared to have a good time, and you can play as competitively as you want. But I think you're going to be surprised by actually how fun it is. It's kind of as approachable as ping pong, except you're using your full body. So the easiest thing to do is go on our website and you can book a court as a guest anytime for $66. The app, all you have to do is sign up as a drop-in guest, and the app will, when you add your other, so everybody in your group signs up as a drop-in guest. The first time you do this is the hardest. You just have to go through the sign-up flow and sign our liability waiver. The app will automatically split the cost between the players on the reservation when you make a reservation for 4 people. So the cost per player is $11 per hour. It's pretty reasonable. I think
Yeah.
$16.50 per player for 90 minutes. We have paddles and balls at the facility for people to use. So when you book your court, you'll receive an email confirmation with a door code. In our first facility, it's completely autonomous. You get this door code that's good 15 minutes before your reservation start time. And then you show up to the facility and you've chosen whether you want to book court 1, 2, 3, or 4. And you come 15 minutes early, you change into your tennis shoes, put your gear in your locker and just start having fun. We've got Wi-Fi in there. We've got a changing area, and it's pretty low key.
That sounds like a savvy setup. Congrats on getting that all configured.
Thank you. It took a lot of work.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Okay, and so they'll come when they're doing this court. Are they just booking it with people they know, people they don't know?
So it's usually people that do know each other that are booking a private court together. And that's one of the challenges that I'm spending a lot of time on, trying to mix other players together if you're short on players, for example. So we've tried a couple different things, open reservations, these different league formats. But the thing that works the best is these open plays that we have. So they're pre-scheduled chunks of time. The cost for the open play is basically the same as your per person pro rata court reservation. So it's $16.50 for the open play, and we throw in free pizza and beer for some of them too, so a little extra bonus on top of the pickleball. But the sign up there is you just have to sign up for yourself, and then you come and you mix with other players. You don't have to bring any friends, and that works great. These open plays are all on our website. They're all listed out on the calendar. It's a really great way to learn too. So if you come into the beginner open play, for example, sometimes there's players that play down a little bit, but they're actually there they love helping other players learn the sport. So you can learn the rules. It's a really low pressure environment to play with other people. We've got single moms that come that bring their daughters. We've got older folks that are new to this sport. We've got folks that are coming from tennis, for example, that almost surely are going to move up to the intermediate level pretty quick, but they don't know the rules yet. So they'll come to the beginner open plays and kind of get their feet under them. And then these intermediate open plays are for players that have played, have a tennis background or they've played pickleball a couple times before and they know the rules and they're ready to get a little bit more of a pump in. And those are a riot. That's usually where I play. And you can get a great game. And we've started to roll out some new fun play formats too, where, for example, the ladder format, everybody starts on their court. And then after each game, you both mix partners and then you change courts based on whether you won or you lost. You move up or down. So you end up mixing with like all the other 16 players on the court over the course of the evening. The winner holds down what we call the king's court, the top court. And that's where you're going to burn like 500 calories.
So it's like a king of the hill format, essentially, if you get to that king court.
Yeah.
And then you're just trying to stay
bragging rights.
Very cool. I'm part of it's a business group through the Bozeman Chamber. We meet Wednesdays. Shout out to the Wednesday 8 a.m. group. It was last week or 2 weeks ago. We go around every morning and introduce ourselves, and we'll usually have some fun question to answer. And one of them was, what's something you're not doing that you want to do? 3 people said pickleball.
Really?
So I was very excited to record this with you and share it with everyone because you just answered probably a lot of the questions that they have.
That's amazing. I mean, it's I'm actually in the Chamber of Commerce too, and I need to join one of those business groups.
You should come to ours.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I've been looking for a good group. Shout out Carrie at the Chamber of Commerce for helping navigate, and Darren as well. But
yeah, they're both
Daryl, excuse me.
Yeah.
Wonderful people.
Yeah.
And I've met actually some other awesome local business owners and formed some banking relationships and stuff through the Chamber of Commerce. But I need to do one of those groups. But that's awesome to hear that pickleball came up. I mean, it's just a little plug on pickleball. It's the fastest growing sport in the United States. I think the reason that it's so popular is because of how actually physically you don't need to be very physically strong or fast or even frankly in great shape. Like this customer of mine who's told me he lost 50 pounds over like 7 months of playing pickleball. You can step out on the court and basically if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. If you can, yeah, the dodgeball reference. If you can play ping pong, you can definitely play pickleball and you're going to have fun even your first time stepping on the court. And it's also one of these sports where you can play against people. You might be super athletic and super fit, but you're going to play maybe against somebody else in your office or in your company who is not maybe in the best shape. And you can both still have a great time because it's not just a hitting hard game. It's also kind of a strategy game. It's about shot placement. It's about controlling the tempo. And there's a lot of sportsmanship too. So it's one of the fastest growing parts of our business for these private company team building events. And then for a lower price point, you can book a court anytime with your team.
Do you, my fiance's mother's very into pickleball,
Nice.
and I know last time my fiance was home, her family, herself and her sister, and both her parents went and played. I When I went to visit, I didn't, but I'm hoping that next time I know my mother-in-law to be and my sister-in-law to be are coming here. I'm really hoping we all go play pickleball while they're here, and we'll
Please do.
come to your place. It'd be very fun.
Please do. I'm going to make you guys a reservation on the house anytime you want to play. So you just shoot me a text and I'll get you hooked up.
That's awesome. And I know she takes it pretty serious, so she'll probably
You
smoke us
you
all.
may get smoked. I mean,
I think we will.
I played actually I started playing pickleball singles. Again, like the fun part of it is you can have fun, frankly, even if you don't know the rules. Like I'm embarrassed to say I didn't for about 3 years. I played like just a couple days a year in Florida at my mother-in-law's house where there's some pickleball courts really close to her house. And so my brother-in-law would go. I remember seeing the pickleball paddles in the garage and being like, what are we? Is this a beach game? You know, what the heck? Going, couldn't believe that there were these special courts that had been built. And we had no idea what the rules were, but we're both athletes and played pickleball singles for, I mean, I'd say probably 5 to 10 times we played before one day getting approached by some older gentlemen that offered to play doubles with us. And naive me thought, of course we'll play, you know, but it's going to be embarrassing when we, you know, smoke them. Could not have been more the opposite. Got absolutely disrespected by these guys. And that's when I really started to take it seriously as a sport that has very little to do with athleticism and a lot more to do with strategy, skill, tempo, ball control, all kind of things that if you're immobile or you don't have as much experience playing, you can still get super good at.
When I think about why you say it's the fastest growing sport, and if I was gonna take a stab at guessing, I would imagine the biggest part is that connection, and it's really what my intentions with this podcast is connect people, people to businesses and business owners, and it seems if and I'm asking you this question as I'm trying to answer it myself, the tech world that we've gotten into and the social media world has, left us a lot more disconnected than connected. And like you say, this in real life experience with people, do you think that's one of the bigger reasons why it's growing at the rate it is?
I think that's a huge part of it. I think that that's probably the majority of it. Also, the low cost and barrier to entry, I think, also plays a big part because unlike golf, for example, you know, golf is so expensive. You have to buy clubs, you have to pay for expensive court times, you got to buy your golf shoes, whatever. Golf balls if you're shanking it into the woods like me. Um, you think about any other sport basically in Bozeman or just anywhere other than maybe running or basketball where you still end up buying expensive court shoes and stuff. The only real thing that you need for pickleball other than a good attitude is a pickleball paddle, which the entry point is very affordable. And all new members, we sell memberships at our facility. We sell a hero membership that's $70 a month for first responders, teachers, nurses, firefighters, police officers. We sell a young leaders membership for young people that are under 26, $60 a month, no initiation fees. A family membership for adults with two adults and up to 3 kids, $230 a month. So cheaper than ski passes for all these.
A day pass for one person.
Yeah, exactly. That's per month too.
Yeah.
So it works out to be like $1 a day for you to play pickleball with your family inside in the wintertime in Bozeman, right down the street from Main Street. And then we also, of course, have our classic membership, which is $125 a month. That's kind of the membership that built our club. That's got the you can play up to 3 hours a day included with your membership, and you get discounts on lessons and clinics and pro shop and tournament registration and stuff. That's what most of our members are. And then we also have a court membership, which is our most expensive. It's kind of like our premier membership, but you can bring up to 3 guests per reservation at no cost. So it's unlimited guest privileges, which is really cool if you've got adult kids, for example, or you're constantly hosting, or you've got a lot of friends in the community and you don't want to deal with paying for the guest fees every time. You just bring people on the court. All they have to do is sign the liability waiver, and it's a really cool way to host. So that used to be our premium membership, and now it's our court membership. Anyway, the the reason that the memberships and the pickleball stuff has been, I think, so popular in the United States is because it's just so affordable to play. Like other than needing a membership if you play in a facility that's indoors, like there's all these public outdoor courts that are really easy to go on. You pretty much only need the pickleballs and the paddle. And so the sport's grown a lot, and I realized that, wow, this is crazy that the city of Bozeman hasn't built an indoor facility, or nobody else has figured out how to do it in Bozeman. And I spent a long, long, long time figuring out how to do it in a way that I could keep the memberships and the reservations per court super affordable. I could put my own unique spin on it. We sell advertising, so we have banners for other businesses in the facility
Yep.
that are getting tons of clicks and views and likes from people that are coming to the club. Um, and but yeah, I spent a lot of time and think a lot about how to keep it affordable and approachable for people, not just new players, but also players like, this firefighter who I talked about, whose wife actually is a teacher. And, maybe I'm not going to make any assumptions, but like if I can make the cost affordable for them, also veterans. I didn't mention all veterans are eligible for our hero membership
Very
as
cool.
well. And thank you so much for your service for all the veterans out there. Like 10% of Montanans are veterans. You probably got a ton of them in Bozeman. Um, like you've given so much. I want to give back to you. I don't have a lot to give, but I have a lot of pickleball.
That's so cool, man. It sounds like you're giving so much to the community. Is there anything the community can help you guys out with? Is there anything that you guys are looking for? Any holes that you're trying to fill?
Well, we're trying to fill up courts.
Okay.
But no, in all seriousness, one of the things that I'm really proud that we're doing already that I'd like to do more of is we're actually giving back. And I actually want to do more of that. I actually want more groups to reach out to me. If you've got a mental health group specific, I'm looking for more like groups that help with mental health and also especially like disabled veterans. Groups like that. We've done a bunch of charity events where we've donated court time to Bridger Ski Foundation and various. I'll do gift certificates for recently we did one for breast cancer awareness group that one of our players is active in and reached out to me about. Um, any sort of like charity or way that we can give. Again, we've got these courts, and it's such a special way for you to find connection in a healthy, positive atmosphere. I would love to actually donate more court time. So I'd love for people that have ideas to please reach out.
That's awesome, man. You still didn't answer if there's anything you need help with, but it's very cool what you're doing, and I think that'd be very much appreciated.
Thank you. I mean, so more like practically, for on like the revenue side, I would say literally I need, my goal is to sell more memberships
Yep.
and to try to drive more revenue. So we want to sell more advertising. We've got a lot of space in the facility where we just hit 10,000 player visits in our facility since we opened, which is a mind blowing number. And each player that plays at our facility on average has played there. The average and the median are two totally different numbers, but the average is like 10 different visits per player. So you're getting a lot of face time if you're advertising. Our memberships are super affordable. Like I said, I tried to make them extremely, um, well priced compared to other stuff in Bozeman, and they include a lot. So selling more memberships. We sell corporate memberships as well, which have been pretty popular. So selling more of those is a goal as well, which you can pay for a membership for 5 of your employees, for example, to play at our facility. And you're covering the cost for them to go do something healthy, not drinking beer, but
Yep.
getting together outside of work, building relationships. And it's going to drive more results for your business as well to get that in-person time with your employees.
Yeah, and I mean anyone that's buying a membership there is indirectly supporting these foundations and businesses that you're helping. So it's a very cool way to help you guys out. You stay open and support these non for profits and that kind of stuff.
Thank you for saying that. We're building a larger facility right down the street, and I hadn't thought about I hadn't thought about the scale of the impact that we have until you brought it up just now. But yeah, everybody that's supporting the club is supporting not just a small business in Bozeman, but all of these other organizations. And we also need some more investment too. So I've sold, some of the equity of the existing business in the new location of our facility. We bought the land, all cash, which I'm really proud of for the new site, but raising a little bit more equity for the new facility. We've got great economics based off of how frugal I've been with the business and plan to be in the future. And anybody that's interested in investing in the growth of the fastest growing sport in the United States in the world with Padel, which we're also adding to our new facility, or in just like a really dedicated operator that's working full time on this business, or just is interested in investing in commercial real estate in Bozeman, which is kind of hard to come by these days. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd be actually really lucky to talk to you. Thank you so much in advance for your time for anybody that reaches out.
Yeah, and I got some people I want to connect you with too, because I just thought of some as you said that. So,
Killer. Thank you so much.
so anyone wants to sign up, where do they find you guys?
We're BozemanPickleballClub.com.
And you guys are on social, Instagram.
We are, yeah. We're at Bozeman Pickleball on Facebook and Instagram. We've got we're right down the street from Wild Crumb. We're right directly across the street from Mountains Walking, kind of catty corner to Mountains Walking. And so we're on the northeast side. So any visitors or hotels that we've got partnerships with a lot of local businesses as well that are kind of funneling people our way when they come to Bozeman. But any businesses that are looking for something to promote to a visitor to Bozeman, send them our way. And then our new facility, which we've barely really talked about, but we just purchased 2 acres of land just north of Matt Brewing off of Manly in the Gallatin Park subdivision.
Okay.
We're just around the corner from Fay Ranches, Profitable Ideas Exchange, 360 Pet Medical. There's a couple other amazing businesses. We're right next to the Gallatin Ballet Academy, and then right across the street from Monarch Pilates, which shout out Monarch Pilates is awesome. I feel so lucky to be building not just a new place to play pickleball, but a much bigger facility with way more social areas so you can hang out and visit before and after games. We're going to have some fun amenities, kind of complimentary amenities to pickleball for recovery and for wellness. Again, at like a super affordable price point. And then we're also going to have these just unbelievable outdoor courts with mountain views. So if you're sick of getting kicked off of Bogart at 4 p.m. on Sundays and 6:30 the rest of the week, I got you covered.
Very cool, man. I'm excited to share this. And if you're ever doing anything that you want to promote anymore, please let me know and come back and spread the word about it.
I would love to. And likewise, if there's anything that I can do to help, the business community in Bozeman or just anybody in general that we haven't talked about or mentioned, and likewise to you, of course, I think it's super cool what you're doing with Mountain Mule. Please reach out. Like I love doing partnerships. We're doing a partnership, for example, next week with Zephyr Cycling, where we're going to have a combination Pilates, Pulse class, and Bozeman or pickleball at the facility. So doing a lot more mashups. We've talked about doing yoga classes. We have tournaments. We have different events. So if anybody wants to do a fun partnership with, one of the most popular places in Bozeman, kind of low key, I'm all ears.
Very cool, man. I'm excited to get this out here. I'm a fan of what you're doing and appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. And likewise, man, have an awesome rest of your day.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for listening, folks. You can find the full blog post for every episode along with key takeaways and links at mountain-mule.com. If you haven't yet, consider following the show. That one small action helps these Montana businesses get seen, grow, and thrive, and it helps this podcast keep going too. If you know a business that would be a good fit for the show, we'd love to hear from you. Just reach out through the website or social. Thank you for supporting these Montana businesses. See you on the next show.